this is Jackie. I am starting my YouTube channel to help mommies and mommies to be a little more successful with breastfeeding and just tips and tricks that I've found along the way. I have a 7-month-old baby boy now, and I just really wanted to give any information that I could. I know there's a lot of other information out there, and just wanted to share my experience with what we've gone through so far. So I tried to breastfeed my son. He was born 5 pounds and 8 ounces. He had a really hard time latching, so we did do the consultation with lactation, and we went to the outpatient lactation consultants, but we still weren't able to be super successful at home. So therefore I broke down and just started doing exclusively pumping breastfeeding. It is a lot of work, and I will say that the YouTube channels that I definitely searched for, and just different different Google searches that I did, and read different blogs and vlogs and so on and so forth, it seemed like every mama was like, yes, exclusively breastfeeding is a good route to go. It's easy, it's not hard at all. And I just want to really say that if I could go back in time and could give any amount of money, I would definitely keep going back to the lactation consultants, or even would have had somebody come into our home to kind of help with Ryan latching, because it has taken hours and hours out of my day personally. I'm not going back to work. I am an oncology nurse, but I've chosen to stay home with my son, and my husband and I feel that that's the best thing for us at this time. If I was not a stay-at-home mom, I'm not sure that I would be able to still be exclusively breastfeeding. But anyway, it's just a choice that I made. It's a sacrifice, that's for sure. But he is getting, the best nutrition that I felt that I could give him. Not to mention, there was a formula shortage during, all of this and his first few months of life. So I was very adamant about continuing to exclusively pump in order to breastfeed my son. With that being said, I just kind of wanted to share a few of my favorite items that I have felt gave me the best success while doing so. So first of all, most insurances will give you a free breast pump. I will link below the website for that, where you can go on and look up your insurance plan, and then you can contact them to receive your free pump. You only get 1 free pump per birth, and I would say the best thing is to ask your friends and family who have already had a pump, or just do a lot of research and see what you think is best. I would recommend waiting as long as you can in your pregnancy, like at least till you're 8 months, to order your pump. It doesn't take long to get to you by any means. I went with the Spectra S2. It is this little pink guy. I don't have the cups plugged into it, but they all basically have the same function. The Spectra S1 is the blue version of this, and you can actually go like wireless, so you don't have to be plugged into the wall all the time. So if you are looking between the Spectra S1 and S2, I would just do a lot of research into what you think would best fit your lifestyle and what you have going on. So with that being said, the Spectra S2 is definitely a good purchase. They have very good customer service. I was having issues with my Spectra probably 3 months in to exclusively breastfeeding. It wasn't giving me the right amount of suction, so it was taking me a very long time to pull all the milk off my breasts. And so I called the 1-800 number to inquire about a warranty for my pump, and they are willing to send you a new one within a year of it being delivered to you if they can't troubleshoot it first. But they are very, very helpful with troubleshooting, and the woman on the phone was able to help me successfully troubleshoot. And then they did have follow-up phone calls and emails to make sure that it was still working, and if not, they were happy to send a new pump for me. So the one thing that I will say is that if you are exclusively pumping, like I am. I have replaced my parts multiple times. I would say every 4 to 6 weeks I replace the duct valve for sure. That gets very loose, and you don't get as much milk, or it takes a lot longer, in my opinion, to pull the milk off of your breast. As we all know, or you may find out, the pump definitely does not work as well as your baby's mouth and sucking ability. Also, a downfall of exclusively pumping is that you do have to keep replacing your parts. Doable, but just a side note that you do have to replace your parts every so often, because it's just, plastic, silicone. It does go bad after a while. So that is one thing that I will say. Another thing is that you want to make sure when you are washing your parts and you go to use your pump again, that you want to make sure all of the parts are dry, because the little tubing here will pull in, it's sucking, so it will pull in any water that's in your little parts. So just make sure that you dry them really well, or else you can get mold that can grow inside of your tubing. I actually have new tubing coming today because we were on vacation last week, and I didn't have all my normal tools to dry everything as well as I normally do after I wash my parts. So that's just kind of my side note explanation about exclusively pumping. And another thing that I got to help me be more successful and be able to move a little bit more and not be stuck to the wall while pumping is I purchased the LV portable pumps. These little breast pumps are very nice and user friendly. There's one for your left and one for your right. These were definitely a lifesaver in I would say the first 3 months of his life, just because he, was he needed a lot more attention, and he needed a lot of, it was hard for me to be plugged into the wall, just end of story. So, you're very, very busy, you're not getting a lot of sleep. It's just nice to have this where you can, wash bottles while you're pumping, or be doing dishes, or cooking if you are brave enough to cook while you're in the newborn stages. Good for you. But anything that saves time is worth the investment in my opinion. So I think these are about $500. I have the link below for the LV. There is another portable pump called Willow. I don't have any experience with that pump. I just stuck with the LV because I felt that it did everything that I needed it to do. The LV is really nice because you just slip it inside your bra or your tank top. You turn it on, and then you just hit start, and then it pumps and pulls your milk out, and then it goes into the little container here below. So that definitely was worth the investment for me. Another way that I justified it was I'm not paying for formula, so worth spending money in another area to help me better provide breast milk for my son, because I could be in the car driving, going to a doctor's appointment, etc. The one thing that I will say with the Willow that I know of is that it does allow you to lay down, and says on the advertisement that you can even do yoga. So if that's something that you're more interested in, I would go that route. Just definitely do your research on what better suits your lifestyle and what you want to be able to do. I prefer to do yoga and work out after I'm done pumping, but to each their own. So that is the LV pump. The next thing I'll say that was a must for me, and I have gone through multiple, especially with exclusively pumping, is a hands-free nursing bra. This has many, many miles and hours of use, but these are really nice because they just, the clasp comes undone here, and then you can either put your LV inside of your bra attached to your breast, and then clasp it back together, and you're good to go. Or with the Spectra pump, you can just open, there's a little opening here, and the cup, the flange goes onto your breast through this little opening, and just hooks up to you like this, and you can be pumping and have your hands free. You can be, using your cell phone. You're still, for me, stuck to the wall. So, I don't have ability to do very much other than sit there and have my hands free. My son now pulls at all of the parts on the pump and thinks it's a toy. So I can't hold him or be super close to him anymore while I'm pumping, because he likes to chew on the tubing and put everything in his mouth. So I have to have him playing safely next to me, and then, but not within reach, and just have my hands free with this bra. It's about $20 on Amazon. I have 4 of them. It, again, is very much worth it to not have to, hold your phalanges up to your breast for multiple times during the day, especially in those first few months when you're trying to establish your milk supply. This is definitely an easier route to go. There are tons of different types of these bras. These are just my favorite. I've had probably 3 other brands that I wasn't super happy with the material and the comfort. So the other thing I will say is these stretch out a lot. So I have had to replace them, only because I was 60 pounds after. I was 60 pounds heavier when I gave birth versus what I am now. So definitely the elastic had to, stretch to fit me then. And so now they're a little bit baggy on me. And so over time you might purchase more or notice that, the elastic is just not what it used to be. And your breast size may come down a little bit. Mine did. So just for your own comfort, I ordered a size large, but usually Amazon's really user-friendly, consumer-friendly, and you can return if you do not like the way that something fits you and order the correct size. I have this in, I have 2 in black and then 2 in the tan nude color. I just feel like that's the most universal for the outfits that I wear. The next thing that I will say was very helpful for me is this tank top, nursing tank top that is from Target. This is the Auden line. Auden, it's so soft. It is very stretchy. So when I first gave birth, I felt like it wasn't too tight, but it also wasn't super baggy and made me feel flabby. And now it just still fits me snug, and I'm have lost the 60 pounds of weight since giving birth. So it still fits me wonderfully. I have, this is a medium. I have this in white and gray. They were sold out in black when I was purchasing these, so I just got white and gray, and I love them. So these are similar to the nursing bra, the hands-free nursing bra, except for these aren't made for pumping. If they were, that would be even better, but that's okay. So this one has the same type of clasp, so you just unsnap it, and then you pull down, and you can either bring your baby to your breast to breastfeed, or the LV also works very well in these tank tops. So you just unclasp, you connect the LV to your breast, start pumping, and then see if I can do this. And then you just clasp it back. So it's tucked in your tank top. It's not discreet by any means. It's not like people aren't going to know that you have your pumps in a tank top. If you were wearing a baggy shirt with a bra like this one, they might not be able to see it. They might hear it, but most people don't even know when I'm using my LV because it's very inconspicuous. So another reason why I really like the LV pump. And you don't have to leave a family function or go in a private room unless you wish to, but it's a lot easier that way. There are tons of different bottles and nipples, and I know everybody kind of has their own preference. I think that once you actually have your baby, you might be able to tell which bottle works best for them. So my suggestion would be put multiple different types of bottles and nipples on your registry, and then see what works for your baby.